Hey, this is Ryan of Happy Healthy Vegan, back with my irregular series on how to spot fallacies against vegan arguments, or just how to respond to some of the worst anti-vegan arguments you'll hear. Ever have a discussion with someone about veganism and they'll try to justify their meat eating, saying that it was killed humanely, the animal didn't feel any pain, it was locally grown, whatever. So I'm going to show you how to respond to this, and we're going to learn from a debate that Earthling Ed had. I'm really digging this series where he's going around college campuses here in the United States and just discussing veganism with people and seeing why they're not vegan. So on this recent episode with Earthling Ed, he found himself in Texas having a discussion with a female college student who thought there was a way to kill animals without them feeling any pain, like some kind of magic way of slaughter that we've never heard of yet.
No, I'm talking about those that are like very local, very, they kill animals, again, in a humane way. Again, the idea is that...
But what does humane mean? You know, when we say humane...
Yeah, so you hear people throw this term humane kill around all the time. Like, what does that mean? I mean, please define exactly how you can humanely kill a sentient being who doesn't want to be killed.
If you kill them in a humane way where they don't feel pain, in a halal way, right? They don't feel pain.
Well, at first she kind of went a circular definition there. When everything asked her to find how do you kill something humanely, she said you kill it in a humane way. But then she later on said you kill it without pain, and halal slaughter was her particular example of a humane way of killing an animal in a way that it does not feel pain.
What is halal? How do they kill animals halal?
They kill them without pain.
So that's the definition of halal? I mean, halal means you kill an animal in a way such that the animal does not feel any pain. No, let's be a little bit more specific about this. If you're going to say there's a way to kill an animal in such a way it doesn't feel pain, please explain, be clear. How is this method of killing performed? Or does she not even know what she's talking about?
How describe the process.
I cannot tell you specifically because I'm not Muslim.
But you can tell me that they die without pain, but you can't tell me how they're killed.
Yes? I mean, that's a horrible excuse. I myself am not Muslim, so I can't tell you how halal killing is performed, but I can tell you that I know with absolute certainty that there's no pain involved for the animal. Really.
Because I have Muslim friends and I ask them, I'm like, what does halal mean? They say basically they're killed in a very specific way where they, as less pain as possible.
Did you see what she did there? How she's moving the goalposts around. First, she told Ed that halal killing meant that animals experience absolutely no pain, a pain-free killing death experience for the animal. But now she says that her Muslim friends have told her, oh, it's a way of killing an animal in which the animal experiences less pain. I mean, so there's whole different concepts. Which is it? Anyway, it's obvious she doesn't know. And now Earthling Ed's going to make her pay for bringing up this halal concept because, of course, Ed knows what halal killing actually is.
I tell you how they're killed. They have their throats cut, but they're not rendered unconscious. So they're conscious and they have their throats cut.
Is that how they're killed in the halal way?
Yeah. Kosher and halal, that's what it means.
But, okay, so...
As you see there, she doesn't want to own up to what she said. She's trying to move on to another topic quickly, and Ed should have held her to it here and have her admit that she was wrong. She didn't know what she was talking about when she brought up halal slaughter. She thought it was some kind of pain-free experience, and admit she was wrong. Admit that it is quite painful. I don't know how it's lesser painful to have your throat slit while you're fully conscious and slowly bleed out and die.
Again, that's all about anatomy.
Do you think that sounds compassionate?
It's more compassionate than other ways of killing them.
It is, but is it more compassionate than not killing them?
I think Ed's doing a wonderful job, by the way, but I don't think I necessarily agree with Ed there when he said that halal killing is more compassionate than other ways of killing. That sounds pretty freaking gruesome, but I can see why I said that to ask that follow-up question. Do you believe it's more compassionate to kill them halal style versus just eating plants and not killing animals needlessly for food? Valid question.
They're gonna... The base of the problem is, if you have respect to the animal, right?
Can you respectfully cut their throat for an unnecessary reason?
Yeah, great question. Way to put it to her, Ed. How do you respectfully kill someone, slit their throat when it's absolutely unnecessary to? You can eat plants.
That's what Indigenous people do. Indigenous people hunt in a respectful way.
But people who buy meat from slaughterhouses when they don't have to.
Yeah, this is irrelevant. She's talking about hypothetical indigenous people who I presume she's never met before, she's just studied about in her anthropology class. How does that have any relationship to what happens in the United States and most of the developed world, where people buy their food in markets where the animals have been slaughtered in a non-respectful way in a slaughterhouse? What does that have anything to do with indigenous peoples?
Actually, from slaughterhouses, no. But again, if you go from organically sourced, small, very small companies, their meat is expensive because they are so small, but
They're still killed in the same way, though. They may be raised slightly different, but they're still killed in the same way. The standards still apply. Halal, kosher, or even just the USDA, humane regulations, it's the same in all slaughterhouses.
It's so frustrating to watch people like this talk to Ed, because as you'll see here, she didn't hear a single word that Ed just said there about how it doesn't matter how an animal's raised, small local farm, giant factory farm, they all end up in slaughterhouses where they face the same type of gruesome death. But she heard none of that, and she's going to try unsuccessfully to argue that if an animal is raised in a certain way on a small, organic, local non-factory farm, it's going to have a beautiful death where there's no pain and it's ethical, or something bizarre like that.
So they're raised in the same way. They still are able to have a better life. They're able to go out in the pastures and they're able to live life as a cow.
But they're still killed in a slaughterhouse.
It never ceases to amaze me when I see people try to justify killing animals by telling ridiculous stories like this. Oh, that animal, it was living outside in the pasture, grazing on grass. We let it sleep on our couch even. We bathed it. We gave it a name. I mean, how does that make it right, therefore, to slit its throat and kill it just because you treated it better? You still had to kill the animal. That's still killing an animal.
You can kill them. I'm saying you can kill them in the cosmocentric worldview. You can kill them in a respectful way where you thank the animal, where you...
Does that help the animal? Does us thanking the animal
in a
help the
cosmocentric worldview? Yes, it does.
But would it not be better just to eat the plants?
All right, this is just so wrong. First of all, she's not Native American, and in slaughterhouses here in North America and throughout the developed world, animals aren't killed by Native Americans who somehow thank the animal before they kill it. Not to say that would make it right. Let's just talk about that. How does being cool to someone, being really nice to them and thanking them, make it okay to take their life? Just think about that as far as people. If you just thank someone, I thank you for giving me your life. They go, no, I don't want to be giving you my life. Don't kill me. This is just complete ridiculous nonsense. These are just mental gymnastics tricks that people use to justify their practices of eating meat and they don't want to feel bad. So they try to pretend, oh, but Native Americans do it this way.
No, because
morally there's no difference.
Has to remain balanced. So if
there's no balance in animal farming. Animal farming destroys balance. It destroys the environment. We're artificially breeding animals into existence. We're selectively breeding them, giving them hormones, and then we're killing them in slaughterhouses. But we're talking about slaughterhouses right now.
I'm not talking about slaughterhouse. I'm talking about locally grown ranches,
which
right?
still go to the same slaughterhouses.
They do not go to the same slaughterhouses, my dude.
They do. They may be raised differently, but they're killed in the same ways. They're killed in the same methods with the same techniques. They're killed in the same ways,
but they do not go to slaughterhouses. They stay at the ranch. These are their own meat suppliers. They grow and kill their own meat.
Well, factually, Ed is right here. I mean, like most every tiny local small farm beef producer does not also have a facility that's permitted on site to process and slaughter animals. It's a whole different business. There's blood to dispose of and all the waste and everything. So yeah, these small farms send their animals to be slaughtered in commercial slaughterhouses. But anyway, let's move on.
They may have local slaughterhouses, but it doesn't matter. They're killed in the exact same way. They may not go to some of the big industrial Smithfield slaughterhouses, but they're still killed in the same way. And for that individual animal, the experience that they endure is the same because the method and the action is still the same.
I think Ed was wise there. Just to move on from the point, yeah, just admit maybe they don't go to the super agribusiness slaughterhouses. Maybe they go to a slightly smaller, more regional, local slaughterhouse. But the fact remains that no matter which of those types of slaughterhouses animals end up in, they still face the same techniques of being slaughtered. Like, again, how does going to a small local slaughterhouse provide a better death? Either way, they're going to die using the same methods. And in all cases, the animals don't want to die. They were bred into existence so that they could be raised for slaughter. Like, how does it make it any better that it went to a smaller slaughterhouse? How is that more humane?
The action is still the same, but it's, again, least pain as possible, so they're cutting the throat at the right place where the cow honestly just falls unconscious. They don't feel the
So now she's just completely making stuff up. She's inventing in her own mind, her own personal fantasy of how animals are slaughtered in these smaller, more local slaughterhouses. They're killed in this magical way where they feel no pain, they die instantly. It's a perfectly humane death.
falls unconscious. They don't feel
They
the
bleed out.
Yeah, did you hear Ed, who's kind of soft-spoken there? The animals bleed out in her magical slaughterhouses here where it's humane and they feel no pain. Well, let's get back to her silly argument here. Let's just say what she's saying were true, and it's not, but let's just say it is. Let's say animals go to these little, small, local slaughterhouses, then use this special magical technique that's not used in larger slaughterhouses, and these small slaughterhouse animals are killed in a way where they feel no pain. They just fall unconscious instantly, and it's over. And let's examine, does that actually make it moral of a practice? Does it make it moral to eat meat? And the answer still would be no, for the simple fact that it's absolutely unnecessary to eat animals. You can live a perfectly healthy diet eating zero animal products. And again, this isn't my opinion. You don't have to listen to me. You can listen to the opinion of many health organizations around the world, and they all say pretty much the same thing, that appropriately planned vegan diets free of all animal products are nutritionally adequate for all people in all stages of life. So given that it's absolutely unnecessary to eat animals for health or any other reason, it's immoral in all cases for a human to kill an animal, whether it's killed in this magical, non-existent way or in a regular slaughterhouse.
And are we saying that is it
Do you-
compassionate to unnecessarily kill someone else? Is that compassionate?
Yeah, Ed and I are on the same page here, the same wavelength. It's absolutely unnecessary to kill animals, unnecessary to eat animals. So how is it compassionate to kill animals? How can it be compassionate to kill a living sentient being needlessly?
someone else. No, it's an animal.
But we're animals too.
We are animals too, but we are different from animals in that we have conscious thought.
What? Animals don't have conscious thoughts? What, animals are like rocks? Animals are like plants? Like, what? Has she ever had a pet before? This is crazy.
So do they. They're conscious. And if they're not a someone, are they? What are they? A something?
They are something that.
So that says a lot right there, that she does not view animals as someones. They are something. They're things. They're objects that people can freely use and exploit all we want for food, profit, anything you can think of. Animals are to be exploited by humans, and she's just going to use more mental gymnastics to try to justify this. As you'll see, the next thing she goes on here is she's going back to the Native Americans thing.
See, that I'm trying to explain the cosmic, like with cosmocentric worldview and with animism, right?
So now she's returning back to her Native Americans, but Native Americans though argument, which I think is a really funny argument. Let me know down below in the questions and comments if you'd like me to cover that part of Ed's debate with her, because as interesting as that part was, I thought this was even a better topic to cover in a video, because we hear this all the time as vegans, like, oh, but my meat was raised locally, it's organic, it's humanely slaughtered. And as I discussed throughout this video, all those concepts are absurd. There's essentially no way to humanely kill a living sentient being who does not want to die. It's just an absurd notion, and just something people try to say to themselves and to you to try to justify their inherently immoral practices. So anyway, let me know what you thought down below here, what you think about her just moving all over the place. It's kind of like my live streams. Do you guys watch my Friday live streams where I try to invite and entertain as many of anti-vegans as I can to see their arguments and hear them out? They just, what I describe as throw poop on the wall. They just throw one thing on the wall, see what sticks. Oh, that's not working. Let's throw another different poop on the wall and see if that sticks. And nothing sticks, and she's kind of doing the same thing here, trying to change topics quickly when she found she was backed into a corner, like say with halal slaughter, in which she couldn't get out of. Anyway, guys, I gotta go on. I have some khichdi cooking. I'm ready to eat. So anyway, guys, hit like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and until next time, let's remain happy, healthy, and vegan.
Fire.